What?
Oh, we are we are the live on the scene.
Oh, boy.
Late breaking news.
What?
So oh, hold on. We need to figure out if we're good or not. Well, it's not. Oh, never mind. It's live. It's not. I'm so used to recording things that there's no red button, so I assume it's not doing anything. All right. So I'm gonna go to my own channel and see if it's working good, and see if you guys are being heard. Blah blah blah. Well, it's not. Oh, never mind. It's live. It's not. I'm so. You guys talk. Talk.
Talk what you want to
All
talk
right.
about.
So I'm gonna go. Well,
Well, I heard you had some
sorry.
things to say about Until Dawn. I watched someone play Until Dawn and then realized I didn't actually have to play the whole game myself because why would I want to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm. No, I mean, hey, no, I like the game a little bit of what
I
I've
heard you
played
had
of
some
it,
things to say
and
about Until Dawn.
it's fun. So, um,
Mhm.
can't say
I'm
that
happy.
Oh
it's
no.
a drinking game, but it's all good.
Listen, all right, I'm happy you had fun playing it.
Well,
Mhm.
I haven't finished it yet. I'm just gonna touch
Well,
Oh
into
yeah.
it.
Oh,
oh,
goodness. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to spoil it for you.
well.
I've seen a full playthrough, so it's nothing
Okay,
spoiled.
okay.
Oh, good.
Well,
Okay.
here's the thing.
Okay.
Um, a rude awakening, so to speak. It's not a good game. It barely
It's
it barely passes as a game.
I can't call it a good game.
No,
It's a game.
it's a
It is a
game.
Yeah,
game.
exactly. It is a game. Yes.
That is the best thing I could say about it.
Um,
It is a video game.
it's
It achieves that.
it's cutscenes with button prompts, and then you walk to the next one.
Right,
Like
it's not like a
that's really it.
RPG kind of game or nothing like that there, Falco. It's
No, of
just
course
a
not.
story based game to
Oh
just
I
yeah,
make
mean,
like
decisions. That's all you
I
do
had
is just make
I had
decisions.
I'll say this. Maybe it's a poor comparison, but I had more fun playing Telltale's The Walking Dead than I did playing Until Dawn. My God.
well, here's the thing about Until Dawn's probably the best project they have under their belt, and that's not a good thing. Uh, the thing with the decisions, um, you don't know if it's good or bad until you play, and you have to play it again because
Right.
there are right decisions, and I think that's the sort of. I think they're lying to the player a little bit about your decisions matter. Not really, because a decision you know is good because you're trying to play moral. You're trying to play a moral like character or have a moral code. Sometimes letting people fall to their death is a good thing. And like, how are you supposed to know that some people getting killed is the best thing for them? It's like, and some decisions are just random that you have no idea where they're going until 3 hours
Right.
later.
Right,
And
exactly.
it's like, oh, your decisions only. In fact, the decisions only matter until the very end of the game. Like that's it. The rest of it is maybe some characters survive. And plus, these if it's supposed to be a story, these characters are irreprehensible. They are the most stereotype horror, like cliche characters. Like it. I know that's the whole point of the beginning part of the game, but if these were actual likable people, I wouldn't feel so bad if they started acting a little bit out of character because of the stressful situations they are put into.
It's it's the worst part because you can't even get attached to anyone right off the bat because no one has like very many redeemable qualities.
Yep, like
It sucks.
we're gonna party like porn stars. And I'm like, it's like, who wrote this
I
dialogue?
don't know. I don't know. It's been so long since I've looked into the game, but I just remember like
Uh,
finding a lot of things wanting.
yeah. So I'll have to keep my hand on Discord for a while as well, just in case Katie comes along. So, and the other, okay, so I think we're off that topic of Until Dawn. It's not a good game. Go.
Yeah. Again, it's not like a great game. It's just a game.
A game.
That's all it is. It's just.
I'm happy to hear. Honestly, I'm happy to hear.
Yeah,
I haven't heard
yeah.
too many positive thoughts about it. So if you have positive thoughts, I'd love to hear.
Yeah, if I ever finish it, because I've been actually playing Stick of Truth.
I'll say, Stick of Truth. That's way better. But
Yeah, except for one part, gets driven me mad.
yeah,
And that's the one mini game. If you know what mini game I'm talking about, Falco.
It's been a while since I've actually heard of that. Oh, James Murray. Hello, nurse. Hello. Indeed, hello, nurse. Um. What else? So, is there anything else you wanted to mention? I heard you have like this might be political, but I don't like YouTube. Okay, YouTube is a terrible, horrible, probably even racist, sexist. Who knows what else? But that's how Google runs YouTube, because we're going to make sure to chase off the Act Man when he made a joke about YouTube.
He made his joke about going after the employees and
that's
doxing
the
them and all that,
employees, and I'm like, that's a joke. But Quantum TV, who was still allowed to be there, for who knows what reason.
Many others too. There, Falco, not just him, but how YouTube allows
I know
certain others that do very questionable things on there, and how they are allowed to exist on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Especially, and I'm going to bring up his name, EDP. If you've heard of EDP.
You're talking about H3H3 Productions.
No, H3H3 is one, but there's another guy that goes by the name of EDP.
Is that Ethan Klein?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry.
No, he is somebody else. You'd have to look up. I can send you somebody another time about who.
Oh, okay.
Basically, I honestly just go look up Augie RFC.
I think I've heard of that one.
He's a YouTuber. So
gods will smite thee.
He's a young kid from Texas.
Yeah, well, the YouTube gods can smite me all they want because I'm too small. It's like I'm the tadpole in the ocean.
Like, that's true. You could probably say horrific stuff on here, and YouTube would never catch it.
Right.
I mean,
Falco, which is a good thing.
We love YouTube so much. This service is just so fantastic.
That's pretty vile to say. I do agree.
Well, you got to say it for the manual check.
For the manual chat. Well, chat is like the YouTube gods will smite thee. I'm like, oh no, not me, not me.
I mean, I suppose unless this goes for 5 hours like last time.
I doubt it. But yeah, actually, I'm going to call it at a time because I'll probably call it if it gets to 12 or something. Like, okay, this is enough. Like,
oh, that's good. That's at least a healthy 4 hours.
Yeah, it probably won't be that long. But so yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because I mentioned H3H3 Productions, and because they got a week off, they got a slap on the wrist for
where Ethan makes
for going and tell people to go until he told people to go and commit violence live on stream for everybody to hear. It was repeated on the internet and put to
many other things too. Many other things.
Put to YouTube's feet, and they're like, but he holds our politics, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, it's like you're not doing your job. But we banned him for a week. I was like, oh no, not him. Let's demonetize him. Let's demonetize like Actman and his channel for a single joke.
Mm-hmm.
And then, not just in a joke, I mean, he never should have said that in the first place. Let's make this clear, though. Actman has been on the warpath, sort of, and it has blinded him. Sort of on Twitter. Like, he tried to cancel somebody else for a joke about him. And I'm like, dude, I know what you're doing. He apologized pretty fast, but yeah, he's done some mistakes because it has been sort of personal. In fact, it is personal. Never mind. It's his channel. It's his family. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Longman is not bad. Longman is, well, I don't know. It depends. Zack Snyder's Justice stuff or whatever, his his stuff is Longman bad. But so yeah,
I don't think it's just bad because it's long.
no. I never said that because I'm just saying like Longman's usually good. But
You are correct.
but yeah. So anyway, I'll probably get to the video at hand. So, did you guys get?
Oh boy.
Oh well, I got move it next time. It's super teeny. Oh no. Oh no, my PC is not working now. Oh no. I I'm getting conflicting reports from people. He said like removing something from OBS. I don't know, like Gothic did, but I'm not sure what's going on there. So hold on, let me get to my messages. Ahem. Oh, it has background noise to it. Oh, I'm having double speak. Oh, that's what's going on. Oh,
Oh, Falco.
so somebody's repeating. Long as long does. I don't know. I didn't. Well, I think it's because I was having it on the background a little bit. Do you guys hear anything? Like,
No, I
like
don't hear
I don't think so.
anything.
okay. You guys have the stream up?
I don't.
Yeah, I was just listening to it.
Oh, okay. I don't hear any double verbs, but whatever. In Discord doesn't. In Discord doesn't sound. Oh. But on stream, I don't. I I I didn't hear it. Let's see. Unless not double. Oh, doesn't sound. I hear static. Oh, static. Oh, white noise. Oh, white noise. It's probably my fan. Right. Okay. Well, hang on. Technical difficulties. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Woo. Uh, okay, did that help at all? I don't know. I don't hear anything. Oh, what?
Well, I guess I could say what
Hello
I
into your mic.
think
Like
he's
this?
going to like make the comparison he's going to make based on the title.
Yes, go.
It's just my theory. But I think he's going to say that movies are becoming a long-running series of sequels where the plot is never truly realized, or it's pushed forward to the next movie, aka the next game.
Well, I don't know, but we're definitely going to go into it because I definitely want to. So, is everyone actually in Watch together except for yous?
Not
I am.
anymore.
Okay, hold on. Let me give you a.
Yeah, send me the link there, Falco.
I'll give you the link. Gotta find you on. I have a whole lot more messengers now, so. There's a new one in your direct messages.
In my DMs, eh?
Yes, I slid there. I hope you win OBS next time. No. I will win OBS. It's a game now.
Yeah.
This is the dumb stuff before the
For
stream.
the real intellectual conversation.
Yeah.
It comes
Yeah,
with Nostalgia
yeah.
Critic.
Yeah, again, I watched a little bit of this earlier in his little intro.
Are Are you in yet? I don't
It's
see.
bringing it up.
Okay. I'll go ahead and put up my name so I don't confuse with somebody else. All right. It's kind of funny. Usually you have your
Name? Yeah.
you have your icon up. What's going
Refresh.
on? You're like, it must be a mistake. Well, you're cat of you. So,
Yeah, exactly.
now it sounds like Intergalactic by Beastie Boys.
God, I hated that song.
Oh, really? Oh,
Not too bad.
no. There's worse songs. I like the not Intergalactic, but it was The Right to Party. Oh no, I hear it now. Well, if it's not my fan, then I'm turning my fan back up. It's baking like an oven. So it's probably my PC. Who knows?
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
I need a better mic.
Oh shit.
What?
Sounds yeah, not good.
What is it?
Fan sounds like static.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what
Or
to do
maybe
about
try
Don't it-
try
knew I was
unplugging and
gonna
plugging
do
your mic back in.
that. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my settings real quick and get rid of the properties of it. Or okay, that's it.
Jeez.
Let's see.
every-
Advanced audio properties.
Every time you talk, it's like staticky. It might just be
Yeah.
unplug, replug.
Okay, hold on. Am I going from two different sources? Hello. Am I good now?
I'm listening.
Yeah, it
Oh,
sound fine on my end, though, Falco.
Okay. I may go into my settings and go to the filters. I have gain on. Maybe I need to reduce the gain. What have I done?
Okay, I think you're good.
Okay, I'm good. Okay, let's see.
I think so.
All right. Don't touch it for now. He's like, Gothic's like, stop it. Stop it.
Put
Stop
it down.
now.
Put it down.
Okay. Oh no. Her PC's not working. Oh no. Well, hopefully you still comment on it. That was the whole point of this setup, really. It was an excuse for you guys to meet. Dang it. But anywho, out of the show at least. Oh, good, you guys are in. All right.
Yeah.
So I need to switch to my. Hold on. Let me. I'm sorry. This is a. It's not the first time. I'm just not used to it as much as I am used to it. Yeah. That makes sense, doesn't it? At least I know.
Well,
How
again,
to,
you've been.
I
I was
know.
just gonna say you've been away from it. For a
I
while,
knew.
Falco.
I know how to alt tab. Anyways, guys. Yeah.
Anyways, guys.
I'm gonna alt
Yeah,
tab.
I am happy to put off watching this as long as you want.
Oh, okay. Well, we're doing it right now. So.
Oh, if you insist.
This episode brought to you by G.I. Joe War on Cobra, the free download game for both Android and iOS devices where you can play as Joe or
goody,
Cobra.
mobile game.
Oh, good.
Oh, I had to turn this down. Oh my gosh. You're too loud for your own good.
Got our own volume. Let's use it.
Stupid ad. Nope.
We see patches all the time. Hello, I'm the Nostalgia.
By the way, whenever I hear patches, I think of the Dark Souls. So, anyways, yeah. Anyways, I know that's a frame, but I need my chat up. Hang on. Because I have it on full screen, just so. All right. Of course, a mobile game. Yes, blank. Yes, a mobile game.
Critic guy, remember it so you don't have to.
Please,
We see
don't.
patches all the time in video games. A big title is coming out with a lot of hype, and once it's
Sorry about that.
unfinished, Thankfully, though, a patch all up. Sometimes patches are released even if the game seems fine. There's several VR games that I think are perfect the way they are, but suddenly an update is added and the graphics are different or other major elements are altered. While this could be the subject of its own video, I want to talk about how a very similar practice is starting to be.
Well, you're not the video game person, so I doubt you would do a video on that. But
Yeah, and I was just about to comment about something real quick there, Falco. That
sure.
sometimes with like a patch to a video game can be a good thing sometimes because maybe there's
It's good a lot of the times.
sometimes what happens when the game comes out when you get to a certain point in the game and the game just suddenly crashes on you. And you can't get past a certain point because you keep going to that certain point in the game and it just crashes until these patches come out that can generally then fix the crash.
I would say that patches are so common that there's no reason you shouldn't expect them, because if people are pushing the game, eventually they're going to stumble onto problems. And I think in theory, they're supposed to help fix problems on top of making additions that usually address problems first, in theory.
Even playtesters can't find everything, so it's good to
Exactly.
actually have people that are like, hey, they're playing the game and they played a different way than you might think, or of course, like what you should do is have a team that just breaks the game. It's like just find ways to, just to think of things like, I'm gonna see if I can run into this pixel so much that I can move through the walls.
Right.
Like, or something like
Right,
that.
exactly. Agreed. Or even like fighting an enemy. Let's see what happens. And when you fight an enemy, will you just suddenly be frozen in place, or are you going to fall through the environment and still continue the fight?
All right.
Done with movies. Now, anyone who knows cinema knows that movies are changed all the time, whether it's before a release, after a release, or sometimes even years later. The past few years, though, as computer technology has not only advanced, but we've relied more on it, changes in film have become more unique.
Why did you show the Rise of Skywalker, though? Was that changed during production?
Is this an old video?
Like, oh, you mean...
This must be a newer video then.
I don't know, because
Description?
do you know it was... Oh, okay, hold on. Sorry, chat.
It's okay. You can just look up the video, but it doesn't say that it's an older video.
Oh, okay. Because
it came out in 2020.
Okay, yeah, then it's very recent. So
right after Rise of Skywalker. That's probably why I use the clips.
Okay, so yeah, but I'm just wondering why use Rise of Skywalker when he's talking about how it's used with computers and it's made updates, and I'm like,
probably because those movies had very high budgets and were primarily a lot of that budget went to the effects.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very
examples.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's fine, Falco. I just said possibly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mary Sewer?
That seem different than other changes we've had in the past. One is with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. When the teaser came out,
I knew he was going to mention this because that's kind of it's on the cover, but still, I mean, it's on the thumbnail. But the whole thing with Sonic the Hedgehog is that fans didn't like it because it looks ugly. Because it's ugly.
It did look really bad. Yes.
It made the cats from the like cats like.
It's a musical.
The trailer look good, like.
Yeah,
Well, there was more. There was more Sonic the Hedgehogs, so yeah. Oh man, I need to keep man. I am all over the place. I need to make sure that things are happening. Because if in fact, Kevin, if Katie shows up, I need to know about it.
Okay.
Release the curse cut.
Out, the backlash against it, particularly what Sonic looked like, was so strong they pushed back the movie's release date to completely change his look, attempting to make him look more faithful to the game's design. The other example.
You mean to make them look better? It's not just to the game's design. It's also to make them look. Yeah, it's true to make them more look like the games, but it's also to make them more marketable. Like they wanted to make money, and they saw that people hated it, not just the fans. So.
Example is with cats. With so many people
Oh,
complaining
yeah.
how freakishly
Oh.
ewy it looked,
Yes.
a version of the film was released claiming to have made the CGI effects look better. At first, people thought this meant making them appear more like the original design, similar to Sonic.
No.
But it turns out it just meant taking some scenes that looked awkward and fake and touching them up a bit so they looked awkward and real.
Dark Souls.
The fact that the makers think these changes will save these train wrecks is entertaining enough, but I'm more fascinated that we're in a time.
Sonic was not a train wreck. I don't know what you mean by that.
Was it a success?
Yes.
I guess it was for a second one to be made.
I mean, the thing is, though, I mean, it wasn't a huge success, but it was definitely a success. Like, it made its money back. It got enough for a 2, and 2 was a success. But I guess what he means by train wreck, if I'm being generous, probably means that the film was a train wreck and that it wasn't very good. That's all I can think of.
Time that these changes can be done at all. The reason we're not shocked these kind of
Good.
changes and patches can be done in games is because it's all coding and programming. Yes, it takes time, but it's all done in one realm, the computer. Films like Cats and Sonic are a mix of live action and computer. And this is the first time we're seeing that main characters can be completely transformed even before the movie comes out. So the question is, are more of these movie patches on the way? And if so, is it a good thing?
Actually, that's
Okay.
a very good question.
So he's talking about last minute CGI adjusting, that kind of thing.
Yeah, or
Are what he's
just,
focusing on?
or just I don't think just that. I think he's also meaning like changing because Sonic is changing the character entirely, not just the last minute touch ups. So, yeah, probably. I think
Well,
it is the highest grossing one. I'm not sure.
I mean,
about
if you
that,
could
though.
get a hold of the guy who actually, or the team who actually did it, maybe you could find out how easy or
Mhm.
difficult it was to do it
Well,
in that time.
I
That would
remember.
be interesting.
I remember the day the trailer came out, and a few days later, somebody made an edit. Like a fan made an edit that made it look better. But that was a single image. But you know what I mean? It's like, but then it's like, and then a week after that, you could see the edit. So it didn't take them that much time. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe 2 weeks because there was a deadline, and they knew how to, because they're in the code, so they're able to make it like, and which means if they're able to do that, then can we have other things like this? Can we have like, uh, I don't know, like, is it a good thing that movies have patches? Like, well, yes. It's not really a bad thing because
I mean, wasn't Lord of the
um,
Rings being edited while it was in theaters? No Way Home
yes.
was edited while it was in theaters.
Hmm. I have no idea. Like,
What they? Oh, the just.
I
I thought that was well known at this point, but they both were.
I know how Lord of the Rings was because Peter Jackson says, "I'm not finished, even though it's done." It's like even though it's in theaters. I mean, he wanted to
Yeah,
make
but it's like
the
for
extended
the
scenes.
extended editions, they got the
Yes.
best of the editing because
Oh
by then
yeah.
the editing was finished, but the movies were in theaters. It was just crazy.
hmm Like he had true dedication to his craft. Not just man. I lost my original point because oh yeah, it's how it's implemented. Like it's always how it's used because somebody can change things for the worse. Like like what if there was a really good edit and then a bunch of people said like, nah, I don't like that. Well, then now it looks worse because they listen to some people. Like, it's not always. I mean, when do you change something based on popular demand or feedback? You know, like who do you listen to? Because sometimes even fans are a little too diehard for their own good. Sometimes.
True. Very true.
So how do you distinguish between what's the right decision to make based on people not liking a thing or liking it too much, or it's that's that's a bit that'd be a bit of a tightrope for some people because you're being pushed in so many directions by Hollywood or by the people who want to see something.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't heard anything. I hold on. I'm gonna go to the I'm gonna go to Discord real quick and make sure that's going on. Oh no, happening now. Let's see. So what's happening now is like load optimize defaults, then boot. Oh no. Well, apparently, like this system has experienced a boot failure. She can't come online because of a boot failure. I have no idea what that means. That sucks. Where's Drookie? Well, anyways, that sucks. Oh well. Let's go on with the video. I just want to make sure she was doing what she. I just want to make sure I'm not skipping out on anything.
While many have voiced appreciation for trying to improve a film based on existing properties, others have concerns.
Existing properties. Well, yeah, because you're marketing to fans, and you're also marketing to. Sonic has always looked like this, though. So, if it's because of nostalgia, yes, technically. But again, this is one of Doug Walker's big problems. He focuses on one thing and he accepts it. But whatever. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's see if people have concerns. I think I know what he's talking about. Because let's hear his concerns first, though.
Cats, for example, has become one of the most celebrated bad films in recent years. There's so much talk about how
No. Please don't say this.
the movie bombed hard at the box office, but if the reactions from people who have seen it are any indication of the future, it's gonna be just fine. I can see tons of people.
Okay, but it didn't make the money it got returned in bond. Who cares what people say about it? I really don't care. Like, I hate to say it, but sometimes, like, when it comes to an investor, like, I don't care what people say about it online. I want my money back. Like, this whole like the best worst movies, all that stuff. It ain't gonna be Cats because Cats is way too competent to be one of those best worst things. It's like the Obi-Wan argument. No, it's like from Red Letter Media. Oh, it's so bad, it's good, but it destroys characters. You know.
People viewing this trying to experience the madness the same way they watched The Room or Troll 2. Hell, maybe a kind of Rocky Horror Picture Show screening might be in the near future. I can totally see people watching it, laughing and shouting things at the screen. But it looks like...
Okay. What? Like, I don't know. What do you guys think of that?
What, like the film or anything like that? Don't ask me. I never saw Cats.
Oh, no, not about Cats, but the idea that they're going to show it again in theaters and people are going to be like yelling at the screen and having a good time. It would sell out.
No,
Like,
I
No,
don't.
I disagree. Yeah.
I'm with you though, Falco. That
So
just
there's
no,
this
they can change it up all they want and re-release it. It's not
show
gonna do any
alone.
better
Yeah.
than when it did
Leave
the
Rocky Horror
first
Picture
time.
Show alone. Yeah, exactly. Like just because there's a reason why it's a cult classic, because it has a lot of heart put into its productions. You could say that about Cats, but again, Cats is too well edited. Like it looks like somebody like put too much effort into it. It's it's too Hollywoody for like Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is very. It also looks like it had a lot of effort put into it. I've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show though, but it's a musical, so it gets away with a lot more. I think. I don't know,
Mhm.
but so is Cats, which is why he made the comparison. But the whole idea is that okay, so there's this movie called Morbius. They re-released it because of the memes, and it didn't do well. Again, I'm sorry, but one thing in popularity does not mean it will be successful next time they put it out. So yeah, it kind of flies in the face of what he was trying to say. Victor, are you still there? Is something going on? Is he away?
I I don't know. Victor, you still with us there, dude?
Hmm. Okay.
Weird, dude.
Well, I don't know if he's out there or not, but okay.
Like, we
Oh
may
yeah,
not
I'm
be able
looking
to
on
see it
Discord and his mic's muted, so
Oh, okay. That's fine. He probably
yeah.
has somebody in there. That's fine. We'll be able to
Yeah.
handle it. It's cool.
in its full disjointed glory anymore. I saw this movie
Oh,
before
no.
the changes were made, and I can think of several moments where the effects were astoundingly uncomfortable. More than just the design, it was the texture and movement in several scenes. It added to the fun of how mind-fucking it was. But now it looks like that version might be gone forever.
Oh
Good.
no, no.
Good.
Oh no. They tried to improve it. Darn.
Hmm. No, good riddance. I say if that version
Yeah. Who
is
cares?
a
It's
crapshoot
Cats.
is gone. Good.
If you want to see Cats, then there's this thing called Broadway. You can you can buy it.
Right.
You can buy it from a from a musical. I mean, buy it on DVD or something. Like, go see that.
Right.
That
I honestly would say just from family. I've not seen the musical, but from what I've heard by family, the musical on stage is far better than this movie.
hmm it's a totally different experience.
Yeah. So that's our recommendation, people. If you get a chance, go see Cats in the musical.
hmm
Don't
Yeah,
bother
it
with
has the whole like
a movie.
Newsies treatment. I think where it's like it didn't do well on film because some things don't transfer.
Right.
But fine. I want to see what's going on real quick. Hang on. I don't want to leave people hanging. That sucks. Unfortunately, that's all we can do for now. All right then, back to this. Okay, here we go.
Don't get me wrong, the film will continue to delightfully horrify based on its other maddening merits, but cleaning up the effects of Cats is like cleaning up the effects of Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny. The mistakes are
No, no, they're not. They're not. I've seen Ice Cream Bunny. I've seen that movie. It's it's all about advertising for Pirate World. Like, and that's kind of crap is closed down. Like they tried to copy Disney World. It didn't work out. Okay? Like they're not trying to clean it up because it was too far gone already. Like is Cats too far gone? Is that what you're trying to say? Are you too okay, whatever. For a reason very good. Yeah?
part of why we love it. The Sonic
No, we don't love it. Stop saying we.
No.
No, we don't
No.
love it. Like we took one
No.
look and it was like,
Just
oh, that looks horrifying. I'm not seeing it. And it
yeah.
bombed for a reason.
Yes. Yes, I'm very pleased that this
Yeah.
movie was a bomb. Didn't compared to Sonic. At least Sonic had some
Hey,
entertainment value to it.
Buzz
So,
Lightyear bombed and that looked fantastic.
Buzz Lightyear is banned in certain countries too. There, Falco.
17 different countries, including the one that they get all the money from, but anywho, it rhymes with Haina.
Yeah, I
But
know what
anywho,
country.
Southeast Asia, that's the country. So,
Yeah,
but
The Hedgehog movie got criticism from its own cast about the changes made. Jim Carrey said, "I don't know quite how I feel about the audience being."
okay, hold on. I don't know quite the feel about the audience being the creation of its own when it's happening. Well, they have that right. It's their only voice. You're a spoiled one percenter who lives in Hollywood. You're an elite, okay? When somebody
Jim Carrey only
says,
got his name out there because of Hollywood.
like, I don't care for about a second. Yes, that is because, yes. You're correct. But also because, like, I think other countries are getting on to what Disney's really about, and
Hmm.
they don't like them. It's not just about the kiss. But, anyways, the whole thing is like, well, it's sort of like review bombing. Like, as unethical a review bombing can be, it's the only way the audience can have a voice, um, since they don't get as much pull as the media does when it comes to these things. This is what review bombing is. Like, they'll comment is their comments, and they listened, and thank goodness because they made their money. Like, and now it has fans. Like, Sonic has new fans now. Like, and good, because when you create something without this agenda behind it, you just make a kid-friendly action film. You're gonna get fans. Like, and when you portray those fans, you're gonna lose all that money. It's very simple. Like, and Hollywood should learn that lesson from like years ago, but they haven't. They double down on this stuff. They hate fans. So, and here's the thing: I don't care what a cast member says about anything. To, like, you're just some random person on the set. That's who you are to me. Okay. That this is the argument from authority.
In on the creation of it while it's happening. Who knows what that's going to turn into?
Oh,
I
no.
believe in auteurs and I believe in creatives. As far as something like a Sonic
You mean like when the fans did it better? When the on Twitter you see so many people redesigning Sonic because they hated that one so much. Like, they probably spent hours on that because they love the character so much. Those kind of fans.
character,
Right.
that's something people have a sense of ownership from their childhood.
It has nothing to do with that. Maybe they do have ownership from their childhood, but maybe they just didn't like it because it looked ugly. How about that? Are you some kind of fortune teller, Jim Carrey? Do you know that for sure? Did you ask anybody? Like, are you a psychic?
So of course they're going to get involved if they can. We'll see if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
It is a good
Well,
thing.
judging from the
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, I'll agree with him on the last part because it's all about. It's not about what's being used. It's sort of like, oh, look at that cliche. I'm like, okay, but what if it's used in a good way? Like people say, the third act in a romantic comedy is just them getting back together, but it's always how it's implemented. It's never about the cliche itself.
trailers, I don't see this as the best example of great auteurs or creatives. I can't act like
Or creatives. No, that's extremely creative. They created a movie based on a hedgehog who goes fast and eats chili dogs. They successfully did it, and they integrated it really well because of computer generated like characters. Like,
Right.
and you're
Right.
the one And don't pull a blanket on me about saying, oh, the CGI stuff. It's like, no, 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 no. If CGI is implemented well, it's great. And Nostalgia Critic is one of those people who has done this where he's defended CGI. So I don't get this attitude of it's not creative because it's Sonic. So far, it's just disagreeable. But anyways, yeah. Old Sonic looked ugly, yes, and he was in the Chip and Dale trailer. Yes, he was very ugly. He had the realistic teeth. If you want to make something creepy that's a cartoon character, put human teeth in it. Like, yeah.
Like I don't know what he's talking about. The Sonic redesign looks great, more expressive and livelier than the original. But the change happened before we could see how the original would have been utilized in the film.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yes, we
there's
did.
The original
Yes, we
design.
did. We did. It was called the trailer. Look at that thing. Look at it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that is
You're
horrifying.
Stop.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
you're defending it from. I mean, is the whole thing about like being negative now? I don't understand. Is he trying to say like this is the negative and now here's the positive? Because you're doing a bad job of doing that.
And let me emphasize, it's extremely unlikely that it would have worked. But to demand a change even before we can know for sure does seem a little odd.
Well, here's the
Doesn't
thing.
seem a little odd at all.
No, it. Okay, hello, welcome back.
Hmm.
Please
Yeah,
explain.
sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Please explain. The floor is yours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Explain.
well,
Yeah,
it's,
Falco
it's
putting you on the spot about why you
Yeah.
were absentee.
Yeah, you were gone. Now explain yourself.
I was more focused. I'll be honest. I was more focused on eating my ramen. But
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Little break. Okay.
Oh, so he said like you said it was it should be that way. Why? Like, give me.
well, I appreciate when people have an open dialogue with the audience that they're trying to appeal to. That's a good thing.
Yes. Oh yes, it is.
Doesn't matter whether you're making a movie, making a game.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, this is why I love Steam. Has a lot of the Steam pages for new games have a Discord, because then they're like, hey, tell us about the game. Like you can have direct people talk about the game, the problems, the issues, and talk about the benefits. You know, it's very good. Not just that. Hold on, let me go back a little bit. But to say that, like, I understand where he's coming from now. If I had to defend him a little bit.
Yeah, it's not giving you much credit, but at least a little bit. Even though,
Let's see. The whole point is that like we don't get to see what the original was, and I'm like, yeah, but that original was super, super bad. Imagine if 2016 Ghostbusters had that treatment. We would have had a completely different film, and it would have been better for it.
I don't know what the point of him even saying something like this is when the final product was the new design.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, they changed it after a trailer came out. It's like, yeah, they changed. Sometimes they don't even include a scene that's in a trailer.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah, that's
true.
also
true. It's something that happens all the time. So, like, what do you... Why is this even a point of contention?
Paranormal Activity 3 is a great example of that. There was a lot of scenes in that trailer that didn't happen in the movie. So, not just that. He defended that, like, the original choice for... so there was one choice that the cast made that goes against his point of the people on set should know, or the director is right, where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle live action movie was going to have the rich white guy as Shredder. I forget his name. He's some famous actor, but it said but they were concerned about I don't know, being in trouble for not making him Asian, and also and so they decided to have this other guy, and that completely messes up the story. So this should have stuck to the original plan, like because the director thought he was going to have backlash, not because of they were having backlash. So that's a bit different. So this is a case of there was a lot of backlash. Like he's underplaying it. There was a lot of backlash. Like it was all over the internet. So, and you're using Sonic, the original design, and you say it looks ugly yourself, but you're saying like, yeah, but the original artist doesn't get to have the thing. I'm like, no, people's voices should be heard. And if they did it anyways, they would have lost a lot of money.
Yeah, that's right. If they would have left the original design there, Falco,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, this movie would not have been as much of a success as what it turned out to be.
But we don't get another Room movie. Okay, that's not an argument. Sorry.
Little odd. Imagine if when Michael Keaton was cast as Batman, the filmmakers listened to the angry masses and somehow changed the actor after the film was done shooting.
Well, that again, that's when you go into what the director sees and what the production crew sees. And people were like, "Oh, Michael Keaton, why'd they cast him?" But they did it anyways. Yeah, Michael Keaton's a great Batman. I agree. But that's what I was saying earlier. What if they did listen and we had another Batman? Like it, I don't know if it would have been better or worse. You don't know. But that's I don't know what I'm trying to get to with this. It's when do you listen, when do you not? And I don't know, because you see back then people were concerned about making a movie first instead of propaganda. I don't know.
Yeah.
Best live action Batman. It is like, and people still hate him to this day. But oh well. Remember the Ben Affleck thing? Where it's like, oh, Ben Affleck's gonna be a Batman, like for the Batman versus Superman, and they wanted to change that one. But I don't know. It's all about how it's implemented and how. Oh, I'm sorry. He was a bad Bruce Wayne, though. No, Michael Keaton's an excellent Bruce Wayne. I don't know if I have time to go into it, but the whole thing where he's very distant as Bruce Wayne. He doesn't say much. This guy does have PTSD, and you can see it in his performance. But when he's the Batman, very confident. He goes forward. He doesn't speak much. He's very serious. He even smiles because in a small way he's getting revenge on people. Like, and he does kill people, just not by a gun. But
Right.
thought the script sucked. Exactly. I don't think Ben Affleck was a bad Batman at all. He wasn't. I don't think he was great either, but he was very average Batman. But no, yeah, it was the script. I agree.
I mean, yeah, I know that's not possible now, but we're getting to a point where maybe it will be.
Oh no!
If we listened to fans before the movie was released,
whataboutism, a little bit. Is that whataboutism? I'm not sure.
lost one of the best.
Well, he's talking about how Michael. If we listened back then, Michael Keaton wouldn't be Batman. Where it's like, yeah, but I guess it's a part of the subject matter, so it's not whataboutism.
I suppose I have to listen a bit more because I kind of just jumped in.
Okay, that's fine.
If not the best Batmans we've gotten in cinematic history. Again,
Okay.
It's very unlikely that's what would have happened here, but kind of similar to Cats, I don't think that's gonna save much. If anything,
What?
I don't get the comparison because in this
What?
case you can actually track that it
That-
did save this movie. With Cats, they're kind of committed to certain things that people didn't like. They're like, oh, we can't just airbrush that
Right.
away.
Yeah,
Can't change that.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
one whole character. Yeah, that's one whole character we can change. Whereas Cats, we would have to change everything.
Yeah, exactly. There, Falco. I was almost going to go into that argument myself, but thank you for bringing that up because
Mhm.
it's so easy, honestly, very easy just to go in and change one character or maybe just a few things. But when you got an entire cast, that's where the issue comes into play, and it becomes more of a hassle to where you have to then go back and delay something even further than when it may have to be.
Also,
Hmm.
there's a time issue. There's
Mhm.
also, what if they were just lazy that day? And they said, like, okay, we can't really change that much. So let's just go back and touch a few things, whatever. We'll just say we did. Because technically we did.
Right.
It's like, they have jobs too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it's gonna take away. The film still looks like Hop crossed with the Woody Woodpecker movie, so I personally welcome all the bad you can squeeze into this to make it entertainingly awful. Creepy human.
No. Okay. Why him looking like that makes it more entertaining? I don't get that. Okay? Why would... Okay, someone give me the argument, please, of making him look ugly means it's more entertaining.
You see, making him ugly subverts your expectations.
How is that
Or
entertaining?
it's good. No, it's good.
Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know how those lines are crossed. Like, if someone actually makes that argument, I actually want to hear it. Because I've never heard that in my life. Because this one thing, him being ugly, will not make it more entertaining. It just makes it distracting. Because everyone else looks like a human being. And then you have this thing that looks photorealistic. It is so striking that, and then you either have him look adorable or a monstrous thing that was banished from hell. Like, I'll take the cute look because it's aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Okay? This is too distracting. It's kind of funny. We have to say that subtitles could or could not distract from a movie. This would. This is totally distracting.
Teeth and all. But like I said, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't know for sure. Maybe it will make things better. Someone who rarely
does.
makes his films better the
Oh.
more he alters it, though,
Oh.
is George Lucas.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yes.
Hasn't even seen it.
It's very
Man.
average. It's very average movie, but you know what?
God, but there's so much video left.
I know.
He hasn't seen the movie. Oh, jeez.
Oh, by the way,
What are we doing?
Hold on. Hold on. I have to get this circle from George Lucas's hair.
George Lucas is on screen.
Look at this. This is great. Check. I want to save that. Look at that little circle. All right. Okay, let's go.
He might be one of the best examples of why not to change scenes after a movie is released. In the 90s, years after the Star Wars films were owned by many on video, he released his trilogy with all new effects on the big screen. Nowadays, this may...
Yeah, but some of those were good.
I agree. That's why I'm like, I kind of prefer the new ones now.
I don't prefer.
Now that
the
I've
new
seen
ones.
both, I'm like, I don't mind some
I-
bad ones for some really good ones. I don't like the dance or the singing scenes in episode
What's not-
6. I think those are garbage.
Some of those, I don't know. Like I love the originals. I wish we could have
The
Well, I
visual
think
scene of that
George
is
Luke
much better.
George Lucas didn't want people to remember his old movies, and that's a shame
I
because
don't
those
get
old
it.
movies are art. Like, not with George. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, that's a difference. There's definitely a difference between George, what he did, and what they did to Sonic. It's entirely different
Mhm.
because he changed that himself because he was like, I could make that better later. That's what he did. It has nothing to do with backlash or anything like that. Like, in fact, it was because he changed it he got backlash. Remember, George
Yeah,
Lucas ruined your childhood. Like, remember that song? He raped my childhood. So,
I don't think so. I don't think I do.
but anyways, yeah. So the whole thing with George Lucas is that he didn't want people to see the old movies anymore, which I'm like, I disagree. I think we should have both because there's something to the old ones that makes it. It's like digital versus um, what's the other kind of sound format like audio format? Um, there's digital and then there's uh, dang on it, it's gonna drive me
What
nuts.
context?
Well, there's different sound qualities to music. Um,
I mean, like
there's
MP3, FLAC,
there's there's
what
there's
wave.
digital and then there's the physical copy. Like a physical copy of a record has I forget what it's called. Like, but it has a warmer sound. It has a distinct sound that you can't get um, from a digital copy. That's what the older um,
Right. Kind of like
Star Wars. Yeah,
stereo and mono
yeah. It's sort of
or
like
ones like
it's
that.
kind of
Yeah.
well, maybe not like that, but I'm trying to say it's like the original has a unique look to it from the
Hmm.
70s. It's untouched. It's meant to be that way. The models look a
Right.
certain way, and if that were to be touched up, that those parts, but the rest of it is the way it was, I would enjoy it a lot more than trying to change scenes to make Han Solo look better or have him walk around with Jabba the Hutt, which looks terrible. It looks terrible.
Agreed.
Analog, that's what it is. Analog. Yes, thank you. Analog versus digital. Yes,
Hmm.
analog has a totally different sound. Thank you. Thank you, James. Um, where it has a crispness to it. You can feel the age of the sound. Like, but whatever.
Seem like nothing, but the idea of going back and using modern technology to
Ugh.
update a film in this way
No.
was kind of mind-blowing. Nobody had seen something like that before, at least not on that big a scale. Despite some of the
True.
changes being mind-boggling
It's
even to this
awful.
day, people were
Yeah, that
okay with the
CGI.
idea.
Awful.
There was only
Yeah,
one
that's.
problem.
I'm sorry.
These were going to be the
Hang on.
the
Yeah,
only
I was gonna
versions of
say pause it for
I'm
just a
sorry.
second there,
Sorry.
Falco.
Sorry. Sorry. You can
But
pause it
because I
too.
just, I know I'm just used to you, but
I'm your pause.
every time I see that CGI version of Jabba the Hutt, makes me highly appreciate the puppet
Yes, it
more.
does. But here's the thing, though. Like, I know it's a puppet. My mind knows it's a puppet. But they have to work around it. Like, it's
Right.
something that's like a thing. Whereas, like, in that one, they have to. He stomps on his tail because in the original cut of Jabba, he was a man. And he walked around him. And so, like, oh, we want to use this scene now, but we got to put Jabba in there. So he just walks on his tail. And I'm like, George, sometimes your need for bells and whistles uh, is too much.
Star Wars you could see from here on out. Lucas refused to release the original unaltered cuts on
Yep.
DVD or Blu-ray, acting as if they never existed. Had the original and updated versions been available, I don't think people would have had as many problems with the changes.
No, actually, I agree. I don't have a problem with that. In fact, put them on the same disc. In fact, I'm sure there's fan edits somewhere.
Of
of
course.
of the two.
Plenty.
Yeah, where you can have both versions, or even have it touched up by people, and they're like, "Hey, this is my version." Like, okay, because people were so ups. In fact, people are so upset about Highlander 2 and how it destroyed the lore of Highlander, that there's like 5 different edits of that movie, like fan edits, of course, but you know.
Wow, that's quite the number of fan edits.
Oh yeah, like it's kind of like Blade Runner in a way, where it's like there's so many edits, or I think there's like so many edits of Kingdom of Heaven, too, as well. Like I'm not sure.
Is made, but they're not. He's erasing film history for so many people that now aren't allowed to view what inspired so many filmmakers. These are changes or patches that seem to be backfire.
You know that scene in Return of the Jedi always kind of like, oh, good, you have the original cuts. That's good. Where he goes straight on him and none of them hit him. None of those TIE fighters hit him. I was like, what are you guys aiming at? I've noticed that for years, and it's like, ooh, I finally get to talk about it because he showed it. Yes. But still.
I didn't. Yeah, you're probably right. I didn't.
Yeah, it's like, there's so many. Anyways, let's go.
Spielberg apparently had the same idea with E.T., replacing the timeless puppet effects with what I can only describe as the Illumination logo CGI dick.
Oh my
He
gosh!
also edited out the FBI agent's guns because he thought that was too scary for kids. Got it, the cuddly
Oh my gosh, white power.
Okay, that bugs me. I never knew about
Oh yeah.
this update thing about
Guns.
ET, but it's stupid. That is so stupid.
It
Oh,
really
it's too
is.
scary.
It's
Good
too scary
God.
for kids. Oh, it's
Right.
kind of like in the real Ghostbusters cartoon. Like they got rid of the sharp glasses for Janine because they thought their kids thought it was too. They thought kids wouldn't like it or thought it was dangerous because it's too pointy. It's too sharp. And I'm like, oh, they're glasses. Like, censorship in mainstream media makes no sense.
corpse of your lifeless hero, fine. But bad guys with guns? No child ever witnesses that!
Oh,
Jeez. Okay, I didn't
There's-
even.
it's what kind of weapon is that? It looks like a.
Oh my god, is that gargoyles?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's gargoyles up in the corner. You got
Oh
G.I.
my
Joe, and
goodness.
then oh,
And then Elmer
Elmer
Fudd,
Fudd.
the classic guy who has a gun.
Looney Tunes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree with this.
yeah.
Thankfully, Spielberg did the smart thing and released both versions so that people could choose.
Yay!
But other films aren't so
Yay.
lucky. Lion King, no, the one people like, has several differences
Okay, that got me. That got me. Okay, that was a good joke.
on DVD and Blu-ray, despite them advertising it's the theatrical cut. Now, these changes are minor, but still odd. If we went back
No, what if they're digitally remastered because they're too okay? Some films age so much that they look like crap. Okay, that's
Oh.
that's the thing about physical, like, copies of things. They age.
This is
so
why I
much.
think it's a good thing, and why why George Lucas messed up so badly by not allowing people to choose which version they wanted.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
It was just like he had the hubris to think, well, no, I know what's best for Star Wars. I wrote Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. And
The
now
changes I make in the filmmaking process and the editing are also going to be the best.
I love Star
Like,
Wars so much. I love Star
no,
Wars so
George.
much. I'm gonna sell it.
Well, I'm getting old, so
Yeah,
like you
exactly.
see, George Lucas got old. He changed.
Yeah.
You see,
You see-
it all makes sense.
Well, he's old. Can't you see that she's old? You look old. Billy Madison.
to Snow White or Pinocchio and started changing things years later, wouldn't that be kind of like messing with history?
No.
Updating clarity is one thing, that's art restoration, but this is art alteration.
Oh,
The version
It-
I saw
it doesn't say sex anymore, even though it never did. That's actually a lie.
on the big screen, I technically can't see again as it was shown without these updated patches. At least not on DVD or Blu-ray, at least not that I can find. I suppose I can still watch it on VHS, but it's practically an extinct way of watching movies now.
Because technology changes, and art
Well, yeah.
changes, and art changes with
Mhm.
it. Oh no, Blu-ray makes it look.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
want to see it in a lower quality, go watch it on VHS.
Yeah. Or transfer it onto a Blu-ray and then watch it there. There you go.
I mean, you could put that on a 4K screen, still outputting at 480.
In
Go ahead,
fact,
enjoy it.
I think Blank Face is good. Like, if you take a '70s film and you put it on a Blu-ray, it still makes it look like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you notice it more. I feel.
I remember when HD TVs came out. I noticed how like uncanny it was, and I'm like, this looks too fake. You can see the fakeness of shows. Like, this is not a good thing. Like, it just, and then I don't know what happened with that. I guess her eyes just got used to it. Like, I don't know what happened, but I was like, that he's old. Like, let's say that he's old. It's like, yeah, well, guess what? He's old now. Okay?
Now, with that said, some patches, especially from Disney, do make more sense than others. You'll see what I'm talking about.
What? He has a commercial break during his essays?
Cover our back in Cobra.
No,
Android
no.
or
Oh,
infamous
jeez.
heroes
No,
like
no,
her.
no,
no.
Well,
More
in a
options
mobile
for
game.
reinforcing your army with additional unit
Now these are
Yeah.
the types of video
in-game
games
tools.
that
Now,
I like.
nostalgia critic.
Look how long this is.
Yeah.
That's a long
Wow,
one.
that is a long ad.
Ad, yeah. Well, he puts a lot more effort in his ads. So,
I usually stand by there should be few to no changes when digitally updating movies, as they should be seen in the original context of when they came out.
what original context? Okay, so it's red instead of blue now. Original context destroyed. What? Okay. Like,
Well, I wouldn't be in favor of the change if it's supposed to represent something on
Sure,
a thematic
sure.
level.
sure,
Like
but
red does have certain connotation as opposed to
Mhm.
blue
um,
color.
sure. I understand, but it's again, it's like I don't know.
I
like,
would want to
that's-
like just in case. Like usually, you just have to assume things are done for a reason. So if it's blue, it's like,
Mhm.
well, you got to try and keep it blue.
Absolutely, I agree actually, but I'm just saying it's like the complete context is destroyed because you change the color of a scene, especially the one in
I'll
Lion
ju-
King. I don't know about that.
I think like I was, maybe
Oh
I'm
my
just
gosh,
being generous, but I think that's what I'm going to assume
This is
why
supposed
he's
to be
bringing this
green.
up.
This is supposed to be green. The scene I'm looking at right now.
Okay, well, I haven't seen this movie in a while, but just the fact that it's a different color, I would
Yeah.
question. It doesn't ruin the scene, and I don't think that's what he's saying. But I just would
Mhm.
question why they changed it in the first place.
Yeah. That I do understand. Yeah, I thought he was talking about the love scene. I mean, that's what I was talking about. I mean, it's like the love scene. What? Get your mind out of the gutter. I mean, the flirting scene in Lion King when they were talking about.
That seems pretty transparent.
But this not being green. and,
Yeah, because I actually got to remember that Falco. And yeah, this scene was supposed to actually
yeah,
be green.
I don't-
In the original, it was green.
I don't like that either.
Not red.
Actually, I don't like that. Yeah, he's kind of right. Then, like, but still, I was just confused about the context. I'm like, what do you mean by context? So,
We're always changing, always evolving, so it makes sense to acknowledge that times change and it can be for the better. However, some changes made over the years are pretty easy to understand. I never knew until years later that in Fantasia there were black racial stereotypes.
oh, here we go.
What?
Here we
Oh,
go.
jeez.
Here we go. I thought this is where
Oof.
he was going. I
Oof.
knew it.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
I mean, I don't think that these things are worse off.
I don't think it's
The
worse
edits.
off
Oh
or
my
better.
gosh.
It's just that what if I want to see the original with all the stuff included? I
And
don't.
you should be able to, but it's probably a
Yeah.
worse product.
I don't know if it's a worse product. It depends.
Look at that thing and tell me it would be a worse product.
Are you kidding? It's freaking great. I love it.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
I don't think I have to say anything more. Okay. That is a creature. Anyway.
Yeah, that's
Oof.
it is. I guess it is a racial stereotype.
It's very crudely drawn at the very least. You look at them and you look at that,
Yeah.
and you just make up your own mind.
These sexy horses or whatever. Yeah.
Centaurs is what they would be known as
Yes.
there, Falco.
Centuritas.
I guess that's what you would call them female ones. Yes.
But anyways, Centaur X's, sure.
All right.
Observing the white centaurs. Holy shit, is that uncomfortable? Usually Disney
A
and
little.
Warner Brothers properties. That
Oh, look at that! Look at that! I need that. Hang on. You're not losing me, history. Okay, there it is. Okay, let's move on.
had racist depictions from the past had intros from film
Ah!
historians and celebrities explaining that
God,
they were a
her.
product of the time. That they were wrong then and wrong now, but acting like it didn't happen is more damaging than rewriting it out of history.
Concerned parents might use this opportunity to talk about the way things were many years ago and just how far we've come since then.
I don't know. You could just find it funny,
Yeah.
like I do, because I'm not offended by everything I see. But Disney people who work for them are. So
When I look at a lot of because I've seen a lot of the old Looney Tunes.
oh,
I look at some of those. There are
I
some
can't
scenes
say
that I'm
that.
like, they're really funny, but
I can't say
the
that.
animation, well, I'm saying it.
No.
I'm
Look
sa-
at chat. I can't
Oh.
say that.
Let me see. Well, you could say that.
No, I can't. So, anyways, yeah. So go on. I'm sorry.
I
That got me.
think I lost my train of thought. It's okay.
That's okay. It wasn't much of a train, I guess. So
That's fair. It's a short bus.
it's a short bus on a train track. Where you going? You're gonna get run over.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. I mean, I understand that it is a racist depiction from a time when it was just okay, and it does give people a chance to respond to it, sure, and tell children, hey, this is not okay, or it's like, hey, we can enjoy this at home or something, but never mention this like out in public. You have to be socially aware, especially to kids. But if you're an adult and they're taking this chance away from you to learn about history or to see things as they originally are, but then he's like, no, you can't change things, but you can change things if they're, if it's insensitive. Like, wait a minute, so what's insensitive? And he shows obvious things, but I don't want that used as a blanket. That censor everything.
Here's the thing. It's a tough call because properties and IPs are often sold from company
True.
to company, placeholder to placeholder. So you have a different set of ideals every time you have a new corporation that owns an IP. And so they're going to want to change it or put a twist on it, something like that. And it's like, how much can you really fault someone for saying, well, I have the right to change something that I own?
Yeah.
That's true to a certain extent. But when it comes to
That's also
where
true.
I think there's a good
I need to
common
check
ground, let's say, is if you don't try to actively go against any kind of creative freedom, like fan edits, that kind of thing. But if you want to reserve the right to change your product, I think that's your right. It's like with George Lucas, I think he had the right to go back and edit those, at least A New Hope. The other two movies, I don't know. Even though some of those edits are better. I don't know if he had as much right to edit those, considering he didn't direct them or edit on them
back in my day.
back in the day. So, but I will say that I do agree with a lot more of his decisions than I don't.
Sure. I I understand from all point of view. I just don't want to blanket too much because what another person's out of touch thing is another person's. Well, I think it's okay. Like, or maybe people are being too sensitive. Maybe, like, but when it comes to this, he's absolutely correct to change him. I think because that is sort of a outdated thing, and let's not do this. Let's extend the olive branch, especially from Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg's going to tell us all about how racism is bad. When she said the thing about like the Jews were white, so it's I don't know why they did it against their own people in Nazi Germany. Oh, Whoopi.
Accurately reflect a part of our history that cannot and should not be ignored.
With that said, this cut of Fantasia is not on any DVD or Blu-ray, nor is the original version of Aladdin where Arabian Nights includes the lyric, "They cut off your ear if they don't like your face."
Where they cut off your ear if they don't
What?
like your face.
Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
What the hell?
You see?
Why would they do that?
You
Oh
see
my
what I
gosh.
mean? It's almost like
This is
what
like-
I said
this
is a
is-
thing.
How could you cut this?
Because it's insensitive toward Arabians. Oh no.
A lot of things that have been done. I won't mention them here, but a lot of things that have been done are very disrespectful to Arabians.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but like
This
those
is very,
things are
very
fine.
low on the list.
It is. That's what I mean. It's like, guys, you're being too sensitive. Like, and you're preparing
that's
sensitive
true.
things. Like
True.
this is like when they tried to get rid of Speedy Gonzalez from Looney Tunes, and Mexicans were like, no, don't do it. We actually like him. Like, and then they put him back up because they're preparing something that they think they'll have backlash for. Like, no, not really. And if people are sensitive about this, it's a guy who complained about Apu, the great character Apu on The Simpsons, who's a family man, tries to care of his family, a good dude, has a job, works ungrueling hours, is funny, is actually a character. He's actually a stereotype as a part of jokes sometimes, like everybody else on The Simpsons. Like Homer Simpson is a stereotype of a white suburban guy. He loves football. He loves like being lazy.
He's a little slow.
That's what I mean. He's a stereotype of an American. Like,
I think that's a little insulting to your average American.
that's what I mean.
I'm just being honest. Maybe
well,
it started
well,
out that
yeah.
way.
Well, yeah.
What do I know?
It's like Peter Griffin. Like, he's a stereotype too of an American. He's slow. He's dumb. He's all these other things.
I don't know why that would be a stereotype, like slow and dumb.
Absolutely. Like, well, slow is dumb, I should say. But to say that Homer doesn't have his good points either, like, he loves his family, he absolutely does. At certain times, of course.
Yeah.
But then you have Ned next door. He's a Chad, but he's a stereotypical Christian man. Like, the preacher's a stereotypical Christian. But he's also a hypocrite. It's like, I get it. But, like, there's a Jew, he's a stereotypical Jew. There's all people are stereotyped on that show. Like, to one case or another. Like, so, again, like, people need to grow up a little bit and have a spine. Because, what shows that you're equal, you get made fun of. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Then
no,
you just gotta let people create, and the market will decide. Trust me, the Twitter mob will let you know if what you've made is bad, and it's up to you to listen.
Gosh,
Actually, do a bit of research.
I'm glad you're on the chat and not in here because.
It's barbaric, but hey, it's home.
Well, I feel like these
It's barbaric, but hey, it's home. They even acknowledge it. I mean, here's the thing. Back then, things were barbaric.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and not only that, that's pretty low. In fact, they were going to cut off Jasmine's hand for stealing.
Right.
Remember that? Cutting off your ear is, I don't know, I'd rather someone cut off my ear than my hand. I don't know. They're both
Yeah.
not nice, but
Right, exactly. I mean, but which is worse? Exactly. But, so I
I'd
get your
rather
point.
lose my ear because
Right.
I might be able to hear, maybe. I maybe still be able to use it. I can, I could wear something on the side of my head,
Right.
but I need both hands. Like,
Yeah.
what's a Twitter? What's a Paladin? I don't know.
Version should exist somewhere for historical preservation, it is hard not to agree with these changes. I mean,
No.
the Aladdin one isn't too bad because they're trying to build up it's a tough place in an over.
You just compared it to the other one. How could you? Say this beforehand. Don't say it later. Did you? I think they do this on purpose in the script. When they write your script, it's like, oh yeah, we should mention this, but they don't rearrange it.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they go through the drafts, but they don't go through like a lineup, like sentence structure, because that's something I learned in creative writing is that you want to have structure to your sentences so they lead into each other. So if one doesn't make sense down here and that you mention something from above, you want to restructure it so it puts them in the same column. Like 101 stuff. But maybe they're just not thinking about that.
Over the top way, like making the Old West look even more aggressive than it was. I get that. It's a comedic cartoon. But the Fantasia one, I don't know. How do you explain that to a kid? It feels as
How about you don't explain
Yeah.
it? How about you don't explain it?
I think that one version is obviously better.
Yes,
Yeah.
that version is better, but here's the thing about kids. Kids don't really care what things look like. They'll go out to play and forget all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how I was when I was a kid. I saw a lot of stuff that I wasn't supposed to. It didn't really add anything.
Yeah, but I
but-
I think that if you want art to have any kind of staying power, everything in the scene should matter. When you look at that, you're like,
all he's
I don't know.
doing is holding up a sash, and yeah.
he
I don't know.
doesn't need to be there.
I haven't seen Fantasia in a while, so I don't know. It's kind of funny. The one with the racist stereotype looks crisper than the one on the right. But anyways,
especially dirty, and something about leaving that one out feels right. So as we're seeing, the issue is definitely subjective. Sometimes the biggest patches in a movie isn't about what you take out, but rather what you leave in. Right after 9/11, a lot of movies coming out had shots of the World Trade Center, planes, airport security, and all of it suddenly needed a facelift. Zoolander has become a comedy staple for many over time, but back then, it was the center of much controversy because it digitally erased the World Trade Center.
oh really? Huh? That's interesting. Well, yeah.
You watch it now, it's better, I guess.
I don't know.
Now, nobody talks about it, but back then, it was like a huge insult. In hindsight, I can't blame them that hard. I mean, they just wanted people to laugh at their movie, take away their pain. And seeing the two towers in the background might make people uncomfortable and take away from that goal. But the news that spread about erasing them did the exact opposite, causing people to demand.
Well, it shows how Hollywood is out of touch. Again. Because back then, it was actually like people were pro-American. Like really pro-American back then.
Yeah.
Especially especially when 9/11 happened. Like, I remember going to church and I heard in the hallways, God bless the USA. Like, that's how, like, much it mattered to people. Like, but, yeah. So,
Any scenes with the two towers be left alone because it reminded everyone of what a proud American structure it was and that it should never be forgotten. Spider-Man definitely took note by changing up the poster with the World Trade Center, but leaving it in other scenes of the movie.
I can see it.
still
I can
think
see
the
it.
big reveal of Spider-Man in the film was the famous spider web between the two towers in the trailer.
Oh yeah,
That looks kind of cool,
That-
actually.
that does look kind of cool. I'm like, oh man, I don't know
This
if I
was-
would have had that in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to tell. Again, like, how do you know what to put in and what you don't? Because because everyone's going to yell at you for doing something. So how do you tell who's going to...
Don't end the movie on that shot. That's probably a smart decision. 'Cause you don't want to leave people on that image. 'Cause
Well,
people are like, oh, I want to enjoy this, and I don't want to necessarily think about that at the last moment.
well,
Right.
the thing is, though, this is a trailer for the movie itself. Like,
I know, but he's saying that part of this shot was actually used, but they didn't include
Mhm.
obviously the web
Mhm.
between the towers.
I know that they changed it to the American flag at the very end. Which, by the way, Nostalgia Critic didn't like when because the top 11 dumbest moments in Spider-Man. He mentions in Spider-Man 3 they did the same thing with the American flag. Like, and I'm like, oh, okay, like this is not an issue. It's like, but anywho.
Cut out. I mean, it's in the film for a second, but Spider-Man never got a big reveal of him in the costume, and this would have been perfect. Again, I can't confirm this is what they did, it's only a theory, but it seems pretty likely. One of the biggest changes to a film around that time wasn't talked about at all. In Lilo and Stitch, remember the big spaceship chase in the climax of the film?
No, I never watched it.
Yeah.
Never
rewatched
seen this
that.
movie.
Looks a little familiar, doesn't it? Yep, originally the ending focused on a plane
Oh.
flying through the city, but after 9/11 happened, they reanimated the whole thing so that people wouldn't feel, well, uncomfortable. People still love this movie even with the scene changed, and not drawing attention to it, like the media did with Zoolander, seemed to help it out in both the long run and short run. So as we're quickly seeing, there's no concrete rules
Script
as
writing
to
is
what
hard.
should be altered and
Can
what
be.
shouldn't. With director's cuts and extended versions
Oh
released
my
all
gosh.
the time, it almost seems like we crave different versions of our beloved classics. Peter Jackson, when filming pickup shots for the extended cut,
Well, now we've made it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and you're gonna highlight why that's a bad thing, right? Because I don't see that as a problem. You get to
No.
choose which version of the movie you want to watch.
Yeah.
Well, it's the director's cut because that's the director's vision, right?
Like,
right, Doug.
sure,
Right, Doug.
that's sure, yeah. Last Jedi director's cut. I want to see it.
Are you kidding?
Let's see it.
It has every Ryan Johnson cut out, so the whole movie's gone.
of Return of the King brought up how almost pointless it was, seeing how they just won the Oscar for Best Picture. If it already won Best Film of the Year, why are they adding to it? Well, one of the reasons is because people have a choice of which one they can see. When movies are released in different countries,
Didn't you just say that?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. True, but
I'm glad he
If-
did because now I
if-
get to watch the best version.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you know,
think
like,
the extended version is the only version, but yeah.
well, that's the whole point. That's why he was editing after when he was in theaters because he's like, "This is where you forced me to be. Now I'm gonna actually finish this."
Oh, thank you, Peter Jackson.
Yes,
Too bad you.
thank you for
Had-
actually giving a shit about craft.
Mhm. And then you had your hand in another movie that was terrible. Mortal
Hey, you know
Engines.
what? Everyone makes mistakes.
Some-
Everyone, maybe it was hubris. Maybe he was forced to do it. Who knows?
Yeah.
I need to rewatch King Kong someday.
Which version there, Falco?
Pe-
Because there's been
the Peter
several.
Jackson. Peter Jackson.
Oh, what is it? Like 2.5, almost 3 hours long one. Yeah.
Well, man. All right.
some cultural differences have to be updated. Broccoli in Japan, for example, is not seen as gross to kids, but green peppers are. Regardless, you can still purchase the American or Japanese version of Inside Out whenever you like. But different versions of Star Wars, Cats, Sonic, and Justice League? You can't. With that said, some
Oh, geez, how about the Zack Snyder cut?
The Snyder Cut's the only version.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Uh,
poor Snyderites.
yeah.
Well, I guess they like it. But.
Your film sucks. So, anyways, yeah.
filmmakers definitely know the importance of getting the right version out. My
Right
favorite
version?
film of all time, Brazil, had a very public battle about getting the original cut out, instead of the studio releasing a shorter, and I think by accounts of every human being that's ever seen it, shittier version of the film, known as the Love Conquers All edition. This version, almost as a joke, was released on the Criterion edition with a commentary on why it sucks so hard. The original cut was released
Okay.
after its director hosted his own screenings and eventually won the Los Angeles Film Critics Award for Best Picture. It is interesting to see the inferior cut when comparing it to the original, but just imagine
I've never seen Brazil, so I have no context.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
yeah, I have no idea about
Long
that
Kong
movie
good?
either.
Hong Kong good. I don't know about that, but we'll see.
imagining that this may have been the only version we got is pretty horrifying. Even the masterpiece 2001 A Space Odyssey had 19 minutes cut out after Kubrick did a limited release of the film. He said it was for pacing reasons, and if you know the slow pacing of the film, that's kind of funny. But it's strange to think even after a groundbreaking film has been released, a director
Never
can
saw
go
this
back
movie.
in and change.
Well, there's HAL 9000 in the middle. He can read lips, which is one of my favorite jokes in Futurama when they do this gag right here, and the ship is like, "Oh, I wish I could read lips." It's like, yeah.
change stuff himself. It's not always the big bad studio trying to keep the good artist down. You could argue that
No, it's actually it's the opposite. I don't know if it's the opposite, but it's definitely it's the director who like says that I need my time, and sometimes they're like, no, it's like you've had enough time.
stage shows have been doing this for years. Broadway often has previews acknowledging the show might not be where they want it to be yet. Hell, Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark went through 183 previews. And according to most reports, they still didn't.
What? What's going on? 180
looking at?
previews. It's the stage show for Spider-Man in the
Oh,
dark.
kind of like the Spider-Man musical?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
So we're not that far from the Simpsons parody of what was it like? What's that ape movie? Planet of the Apes musical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't get it right. So as you can see, there's a lot of different angles to come at this from. The idea of a film being altered from what it was originally intended sounds shitty and like it's selling out. But
No, it's not. What are you talking about? When Sonic changed, it wasn't selling out. They were cashing in. Like,
Yeah.
that's different. In fact, most movies are made. What about CGI only movies? Are they selling out when they change something? Since it's like a video game, it's all inside of a computer. Like, you wouldn't say that about them. You're only talking about movies that have live action and CGI in it. So, but still, what if they change it? And because the whole point is that there was a backlash to that thing. So, again, the only apt example he had was the Batman one, which was like, yeah, if they changed it, I think that'd be, who knows. But anyway.
but it's done all the time, both before and after it's released.
Hold my
Sometimes
beer.
it makes it great, sometimes it damages it, sometimes what damages it is also what makes it great.
No, stop saying that.
No, he doesn't believe that Cats is good.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't think it's a
No,
good
no,
movie.
no.
He thinks it's so bad it's good. He's doing the.
He's free to think that.
He can think that all he wants, but no. If it re-released today, it would bomb again. Like,
It's like saying Morbius
Sorry.
is so good it's bad, or bad
hey,
it's good.
look at that! I mentioned Morbius before too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
well,
fine. Yeah, it's
yeah.
fine.
There's the obligatory Morbius again.
Yeah. I mean, I had the same reaction. It's like it just released like The Room. It's like no, The Room was a cultural phenomenon, and the reason why people like it so bad it's good is because it was so dramatic, it was so experimental and so crappy, but the heart was there, and that's what people go back for. Like, but if it went to theaters, like open theaters, public ones, I don't think it wouldn't sell to enough people. It would have to be certain theaters. It would have to be an event, like The Room, one night only, you know. And because believe it or not, older movies, certain movies don't do that well, even though they're great films. I'm not saying The Room is a great film, by the way. It's not. But I'm just saying it's like there's a reason why some movies are put as events in theaters because they don't do as well.
Yeah.
On a showings or whatever, on proper timeline showings.
We're turning more and more to existing properties with a following, and anything with a following has an opinion on what they like and don't like about it. So my guess is we're gonna see a lot more of these film patches. CGI is advancing
Yay!
so fast and it's utilized so much in film that it's easy to see more instances like this on the horizon. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Well, like the example.
That's what he asked
Said-
at the beginning of the video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now he's
Yeah,
going to answer it
very much.
in
And you just
3
repeat
minutes.
yourself.
3 minutes.
So what are you trying to tell me, that the last 10 minutes just didn't matter?
I guess it was context for the question.
It's like, listen, all right, I
Again?
haven't answered the question in the last 10 minutes, but let's rephrase it and ask again, and then we'll figure it out together. Only another 3 minutes left.
Because he does this in his essays or whatever. He doesn't like to answer it definitively. He wants you, the viewer, to think about it.
No, that's why I'm watching a video. If I wanted to think about this by myself, I would think about it by myself. No. I mean, I know it's a meme, but that, like, to comment, like, oh, now I know what to think about said topic because this said video is out. But
Let's not
it's like,
have...
at the very
Yeah.
least, it's another opinion to at least potentially counter my own.
Mhm. Hold on, I'm going to go back to... That's a shame.
Where you might appreciate certain things.
It's too bad her computer decided to bomb. Like
Take a
just
crap, yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. Not just like it just suddenly stopped working. Like the computer just decided to just like I've never seen that before. It sucks because you guys will get along so well. She sends her love.
I'm sure that there'll be a time in the
Yay!
future.
An actual woman.
No, I'm a woman now. There you
Oh
go.
my gosh.
First female on the podcast.
Oh,
That's not
dude.
true, actually. If you look at my
Katie's
page.
been on a couple of podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Oh, there we go. There we go. Well, yeah, I mean, you could take the credit.
I'm not a sexist anymore, everybody.
I'll go back. Or sorry, I shouldn't speculate. Maybe I'll just say.
And I've had
this.
people
Who knows?
from Canada.
Who
so
knows?
I'm not a racist.
Who knows what my sex will be the next
Who knows
podcast?
what my sex
Female,
will be?
male, who knows?
I don't know what my sex will be. It sounds like it's like we don't do
Oh
that
my
kind
God.
of thing on here. Sorry, I mean,
Listen,
I
listen.
don't think YouTube can
I'm
allow
not.
that.
Listen. I'm not a biologist. Let's just continue.
So I'm gonna rewind it a little bit because I've lost all senses.
Yeah, you lose track easily, Falco.
Well, it's easy.
Let's get back.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Well, like the example I've listed over so many years of film, it's just a case-by-case basis. Sometimes they work.
Oh,
Oh, good.
it's so
It took you
stupid.
how long to get to the point? Well, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
That's
you
what I
take
said.
it
That's
case
what
by
I said.
case.
Oh my
That's
Case
God.
what
by
it-
case. It's fine.
That's what I said. It's how it's implemented. Like it's also how like who you listen to. You have to do like a bunch of research. Like you actually like this is why like movies aren't just made. Okay, you have to go out there and get focus groups. You have to like get funding and You have to pitch the ideas. Like, it's more than just, hey, let's just make a film. Okay. And how will people have and what will be the public reception for it? Oh, it's gonna be great. You know. Stupid Birdman.
work and sometimes they don't. What I think is important for filmmakers is keeping in mind what's best for the feel of the film.
What?
Mhm.
Feel the film? What do you mean?
Sorry, what does that mean?
Yeah,
It was like that's what I say.
yeah. What's the feel of the film?
Okay, what do you mean
Exactly.
feel? When I say
I feel
is it
feel
a
like
theme?
this film should make sense. How was that?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it should have coherent sense and internal logic. There you go. It's like, hey, like is there's time travel in this movie? Does time travel work the same way all the time throughout the film? Yep. Okay. Then we will allow time travel. That's the what did you say it was? I can't remember. Freddy's not a sex that I don't think I can watch anymore. Oh my gosh. Well, I talk to people from Canada, so I'm not a racist either. So, what did you say it
Hello,
was?
all my Canadians.
Yeah, there you go. It's like, hold on.
Important for filmmakers is keeping in mind what's best for the feel of the film.
Feel the film. Yes, I need my film to be tactile. I need to make sure I can feel the film. You know, like that one sense I can't scratch. You know, which is another feeling of touch. But like, what are you talking? Whoa! What happened?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
What
If I'm
happened?
watching certain movies.
Okay, sorry.
If I'm watching certain movies, I don't want to feel
No,
what I'm seeing.
it's like aliens. Yes, I want to feel the xenomorph.
If I'm in Jabba's palace, I don't want to, like, you know, when he's like groping Princess Leia. I don't want to feel that.
Yeah.
Or when he,
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that point up.
or when it. Or when
I mean,
he
I'm
puts
sure
his hand-
somebody out there is fine with that, but
Sure.
your average
Well,
fan is probably
I mean,
not.
there are worse things to feel, but I mean,
There are always worse things.
no, I don't know. I don't want to feel when he puts his hand in his own mouth when he eats that slimy thing, and I'm like, no, thanks. I don't want to feel that.
I just brought up something that was worse. But anyway.
He's just like, I'm gonna eat this thing. I'm like, it's like, where did that come from? It's like, or like, I don't know what it. I don't want to know what it feels like to be like going into the Sarlacc pit. No, thank you. Don't lie to me. I'm lying all the time. You never know. That's I'm the truth Hulk. I'm lying all the time. That's why I'm always telling the truth.
Few effects on cats clearly isn't going to change anyone's mind on it. But changing the look of Sonic has already changed several people's minds on it. For a movie they haven't even seen yet. And while I will miss the
For a movie I haven't
drama
seen yet.
horrendousness
He said this already. He's repeating himself again.
we could have had, it's hard not to appreciate that they are trying to please the fans. Whatever
edit
people
the
will think
video.
of the film, most people can agree they
Yep.
at least got one thing right. As much as I've talked shit about George Lucas,
We should actually. It's kind of funny because they changed it. A lot of people went to go see it because they actually listened. Like, that's why I always stand up for Sonic a little bit, because I'm like, well, at least they listen to the fan base. They listen to people. We should be encouraging that.
he did quote a very famous saying, that being, films are never completed, they're abandoned. And there is a lot of truth to that. There's been tons of unmade movies because either too many things went wrong or somebody never got the version they were proud enough to release.
Well, there's also ones where they're thought of as being cursed because everybody died while trying to film it.
Yeah.
At least the lead actor died. Like every time they tried to film, I forget the film, but like it was a comedy, and it kept getting delayed because the main actor died. They had to get another one, and they decided just to scrap it.
It's
Orson Welles.
interesting.
Oh yeah, like it's actually a true story. But I mean, I don't know if the film's cursed or not. But yeah, these people did die on on production, and it's like, man, and it kept trying it throughout the years, and it never got anywhere. Like it's really weird.
Wells was guilty of this several times, even with his last movie. Film is a collaborative effort with tons of people working on each one, so it's no shock that there's never been objectively a perfect film. Even the great.
I don't know about that.
I mean, you're probably right, but
Yeah, you're probably
name me first. We need to have a framework. Like, name me a movie you think is objectively good. If you're like, there's never been one ever made. Okay, what comes close in your mind to perfect?
Mm-hmm.
That opens up a conversation.
Objectively perfect. The only thing comes to mind when someone says that is like, what about 12 Angry Men? What's the problem with that film?
That's a pretty tight film.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
not much to mess up there.
Yeah, it's really good.
You start from it's kind of like starting with a palette of white and then getting all the other colors, because there's so many details. Every time you look, every time you watch, you spot a new color, you spot a new detail, and then there's a whole palette there. You're like, huh, I didn't notice. I thought this was just 12 men in a room talking.
No, it's not just that. Like that's
no,
I mean,
it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's the focus of the movie, but there's so much more to it. It's not just an objectively great film. It's also a subjectively good film. Like it's it has a lot of emotions in there. It has a lot of camera work. It's not just The Room. You know, there's a lot of stuff to it. All at Once is pretty tight. Yeah, it is. Even though I have my personal problems with it sometimes, Everything Ever All at Once is a great film. Everybody should go watch it right now. After the podcast. Yep. Mm-hmm. So, okay.
Greatest masterpieces have something that was a little off or doesn't make sense, and what may be seen as amazing to you might be seen as shit to someone else. There always has been and always will be pros and cons of advancing technology with art. For everything you gain, you're always gonna lose a little something. I guess if film is destined to have more changes in the future based on audience reaction, the challenge is going to be striking that balance between what the storyteller wants to say and what the audience is willing to listen to. Entertainment can't exist without somebody entertaining and somebody being entertained. The hope is...
So who's entertained watching Cats? I want to know. Because nobody saw it. Definition. Nobody saw it. And when I mean nobody, I mean practically nobody. Because not enough people saw it.
Right.
It's like
both having respect and trust of the other to keep the imagination always hungry, yet constantly fed. I'm a nostalgia critic, guy, remember? So you don't have to.
Yeah, it's over. I mean, it's over. Okay. So what's...
Finish?
Yes, it is. Okay, good. Elvis. Anyways. So, not the worst video I've ever seen.
It's not the worst video from him. I don't feel like I learned very much.
No. Prequels better than the new trilogy. Oh my.
Is that another video from him?
Yes. I see it right now.
Is it going to be like, well, are the prequels better than the new trilogy? Well, it depends on the person.
What do you like?
Depends on the person. What do they think? It's like, it's always depending on the person. You ask me, there's a lot of weird fan fiction going on in Star Wars right now. You ask your average person, wow, there's a lot of new Star Wars things that I don't care about.
Yeah, I know. It's
Seems like Star Wars is more popular than ever, and then I hear that this one didn't do so well or something, and I'm like, yeah, it's
Axel Brand made a better Elvis film. Interesting.
Your average person is it's mostly just annoyed that there's so much Star Wars taking up space where other movies could be filling the creative pool.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's but it's sort of how like I think Disney is to blame for all like we need something we can latch onto before seeing a movie.
Well, I'm not talking about movies per se because
Yeah.
Marvel is the dominant thing there, but they're both
Oh,
Disney
yeah.
properties.
Yes.
There's
That's
a
what
reason we haven't seen a Star Wars movie in a while. It's because it's not as profitable.
Oh no, it's not because when Solo came out, people are like, ooh. And
It would have made an Obi-Wan movie if it wasn't too much of a risk.
Mhm. And you can see how that
6
happened.
episodes.
See how
You
that
can
happened.
really, now that it's framed, I could definitely see how Obi-Wan was a movie, a badly written movie, but a movie nonetheless. And they could have just cut half of the show
Oh yeah, because
and made a solid movie that was still shit, but solid.
in someone that probably would have watched episode 3. That still is weird to me. You hire people. Okay, it's not wrong to hire people who've never seen something before, but to say that like when they made it, they didn't see the product, their own product. Like, I mean, the director didn't do it, but it's a Disney product. It's right there. See it. Like you have it at your fingertips. Oh, I guess you left. But it's. Oh no, there he is. Hello, hello again. Hello.
Yep. No, I've been listening.
Oh, okay. I don't know because I'm waiting for responses. It's like nope. So I am getting out of this watch party because it's over now. It didn't take
Yeah.
it didn't take us that long. Just fine.
No.
Because
Not
mostly
really.
mostly it's just hey, look at this. Isn't this neat?
Right.
for almost-
Well, that's
almost
practically
go for-
mostly what that is. Is it's just, hey, let's take a look at this kind of thing real briefly. Yeah.
So Katie said she liked Doctor Strange too. Well,
That's
and,
fine.
yeah, it's fine. And she was,
Yeah.
and then she said to me
I mean,
on stream that, well, you see, I enjoyed it because I don't nitpick films. And she was talking
Well,
to me.
well,
I'm like,
that's
what?
it's unfortunate that more people don't nitpick films, I guess.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I'm not nitpicking. If it's
I know I'm using
it's
that
bad.
that wording.
Yeah, I know. It's
It's like, well, if that's nitpicking, then I wish more people nitpicked.
I know.
Because
I wish
know
people had a better
that's.
standard.
I mean, it's like, is it? It's. I guess it's just a nitpick. If you're like, well, I throw the whole script out, garbage.
Mm.
That's nitpick. I have one major nitpick with the story. The whole thing is garbage.
She can
Throw it away.
she can people can like whatever they want. I've never said people can't like it.
You should next time you should just invite her to the podcast. Then we'll throw the scene in Doctor Strange 2 where they go to the memory store. We'll just play
Yeah.
that scene in full,
Stupid memory
and we'll
store.
and we'll just play that and say like, so does that make sense to you?
Because
Or actually, don't ask her if it makes sense. Just say like, could you think of an alternative way that we need these two characters to get this information to one another?
oh,
And is this an okay scene? Because I just like I want someone to watch that scene just
I've
without
never
the context.
I've never seen the movie, so that'd be
It's-
lovely for me to watch.
Well, it's pretty funny.
Because I only
You
read
can
the
probably
leaks.
find the scene.
I've read the leaks. Thanks, Blank, for getting those leaks.
I'm sure there's probably a better version out now than the one I saw
Well,
at
it's
the
called
time.
it's called Everything Everywhere All at Once. So that's the better version.
Oh, yeah, that's an actual good movie.
Yeah,
That
that's
might
actually
be.
good. Yeah,
When I think of a perfect movie, that's pretty high up there.
it really is high up there, man. It's. I think we talked about.
I feel like that is a movie you'd
I
actually
can't
have to
spoil
nitpick.
it though. I can't spoil it. I can't. I can't do it. It's one of those movies I refuse.
Have you seen it, Kevin?
No. No,
Highly recommend.
I've only, for the Doctor Strange, all I know is just what I've heard of it.
Oh,
Because it's-
no, you don't need to see. You don't need to see that. I'm talking about everything everywhere all at once.
No. I'm
That's a
not
good
even-
movie.
Yes, it
You should
is.
see that.
It's a fantastic little movie.
Don't see Doctor Strange 2. Absolutely.
And
when you kill classic Xavier, mm,
They already did it in X3. It was bad enough in that movie.
oh yeah, and then
Ugh.
like you know, Mr. Fantastic is like, oh, by the way, don't bother attacking us. That guy can destroy you with a whisper. It's like, why did you tell him that? Why did you tell her that? Are you an idiot? Like, idiot. It's like, oh no, his mouth is shut. Oh, he can't whisper anymore.
Wanda
Oh
just
no,
turns into Mr. Smith all of a sudden.
Mr. Smith.
Black Bolt, how can you whisper if you don't have any?
Oh yeah.
Have a
Oh, I
mouth.
get it. Yeah, I get it from the Matrix. Mr. Anderson Cooper. Yeah. Kevin, watch it or the TVA will melt you. Oh no. Anyways, I think that's it. I think we're
I think
good.
that's it.
Yep. I have nothing else planned. There's also another one where he says like, "Are video games art?" I might cover that next time. Who knows?
Ooh, well, if you think
What was
you're gonna
that?
change my mind on that,
Nah.
yeah.
No,
Well,
I'm not. I think
Doug
he's
Walker. I don't
no.
think Doug Walker could give anything
Oh.
insightful on that subject.
Also, Katie, your boyfriend watches them. He needs to stop. Okay, like he needs to
Mm.
stop.
Well,
He's really bad at his job.
ask what's your favorite part of Doug Walker? Is it the unfunny skits
It-
or the low effort research? Which one? Which one
Is
do
it
you
the-
gravitate
is-
to?
Is it the squealing? Like I bet it's the squealing.
Is it the high pitched voice?
Yeah.
Is that just do it for you?
Yeah, I understand. Like he tackles things from the past. Like, but man, it's like the angry video game nerd. I'm like, his time is done. He's too formulaic. Like they both are. They both have a plan, and the problem is they're too formulaic. They're not too sporadic. That's why I like their actual film reviews better. Like they're not very good, but at least they're funny at it, and like or their real thoughts on things, because they get a lot more passion in those. Like, their real thoughts on Twister. Like Twister is actually one of their favorite films, because it's a real popcorn flick. You know. But anywho, I'll probably say goodbye. Say goodbye, everyone. And by the way, before we go, Victor, is there something you're working on? Or
Well, I'm
goodness.
trying to for sure, but
Mhm.
yeah, I've been putting out a few things here and there.
the Artemis Fowl thing is that put up yet?
That's still under copyright.
Oh, okay.
It's still being blocked, and I'm still trying to have that reviewed. It's probably gonna take a month, and they're gonna tell me
Twister.
no again.
Uh,
So we'll see where that goes.
That's-
Hopefully that gets uploaded within the next month.
that's really demoralizing.
It's fine. You know, you can't let that get you down.
Not demoralizing. That's frustrating. I should say.
Well, it just means I have to learn the YouTube copyright system a little better.
Yeah, 10
For
seconds.
future.
Like I know, just blur it and put gameplay. That'll do it.
Well, it's kind of difficult when you're trying to show the movie
I know.
only.
It's
So like you try to like you think like you're safe because you're like doing all kinds of editing, but it's
but the
I
bot
don't know.
knows better,
yeah.
and Disney don't like that.
It can't be more than 10 consecutive seconds, otherwise it just
Yes,
knows.
I know.
Mhm.
It's really dumb. But so I'm working on my Mega Man 1 video. It's I need to get a little more footage, but it should be fine. I'm on page 2. Hooray! System sucks. It surely does. At least they have a copyright system. but Twitch does not, and that sucks. But tomato, tomato, and then later on I need to finish my Kara series on the character design stuff. And I don't know what else that I'm going to be working on or anything like that. I'm just a case-by-case basis when it comes to these videos. I need to make more memes, what I need to do, and do better tracking on them. Or just pay someone to edit them. Who knows? But anyway, anyways, guys, that's it.
Sounds good.
All right.